I gotta say, I'm pretty excited to review today's game, Red Faction Armageddon. I'll be upfront with you, I've played all the Red Faction games of the past, so I wasn't surprised when I found out that Armageddon was something different than Guerrilla. But that doesn't mean I wasn't disappointed. Still, I figured I'd pick it up, for the right price, if just to show my loyalty to the series. And man, was I glad I did. Armageddon isn't just Guerrilla 2, it's its own fast-paced, action-packed, third-person shooter, full of bright new enemies, exciting weapons, and still a good amount of destruction. But just because this isn't the open-world sandbox game of the previous title, doesn't mean you should immediately pass it by. Doing so would be a huge mistake. You take on the role of Darius Mason, which in and of itself is probably the greatest amount of continuity between any two Red Faction games, as a man on a mission to survive and set things right, after you A. let the terraformer, the device which kept Mars habitable, be destroyed, and then B. accidentally unleashed an alien scourge that is moving through the planet, devastating everything in its wake. So you're tasked with fending off aliens as well as the cultists that wanted them released. Good times.
It sure as hell didn't feel that way.
Only some of the weapons from the previous games make a return, such as the Maul, Nano Rifle, or the iconic Railgun. Others have been reimagined from their role in Guerrilla, like the Charges or Singularity Grenades, and are now available as a Charge Launcher and Singularity Rifle. New weapons to the series include two different types of dual-wielded pistols, fast and accurate or slow and powerful, the Plasma Cannon for major destruction, or the Plasma Beam for disintegrating everything in sight, and a fast-firing grenade launcher that does less damage to structures, but extra damage to enemies. But the best one, in terms of sheer fun, has gotta be the Magnet Gun. It works like so. You fire one magnet at an object or surface, repeat with a second magnet, and the smaller of the two goes flying into the larger. It's great for flinging enemies across the map, or pancaking a building by attaching one to the roof and the other to the ground underneath it, or turning explosive barrels into your favorite weapon. Your means of death and destruction aren't limited to just weaponry. You're also equipped with a Nano Forge. Now, the primary function of that device is to repair objects, but really, it's so much more fun to blow crap up, and it lets you do that in more ways than one. One ability is an area of effect knockback damage combo that destroys enemies and structures alike, so consider where you're standing before you fire it off. Another AoE ability grabs all nearby enemies and flings them up into the air, where they are suspended for a short time, giving you a little bit of breathing room and the opportunity to take a few shots without getting pounded yourself. Yet another creates a dome shield around you, which comes in handy when you're starting to feel overwhelmed. The final, Berserker, increases your damage while simultaneously granting you infinite ammo, for as long as you have the nano charge to fuel it. The salvage mechanic from the previous game is back, but it's been changed a bit. Whereas previously you saved up salvage to upgrade your weapons or progress past key points in the game, this time you use it to unlock upgrades for you or your abilities. There are a lot of different abilities you can purchase with salvage, as well as plenty of cheats like unlimited ammo for your favorite weapons. But you'll have to save for quite a while to get everything you can unlock, even when you can find salvage from killing enemies, destroying structures, and finding large containers of it littering the levels. Unlockable upgrades include the aforementioned Nano Forge powered abilities, as well as others such as enemy health indicators, reduce damage taken when at low health, increase damage with certain weapons, and so on. A lot of the upgrades work well together, such as Berserker and an upgrade that restores some nano charge with each enemy kill, resulting in a situation where you can keep Berserker up as long as you can continue slaughtering enemies, like you see here. Unfortunately, Berserker ended a bit prematurely that time. Overall, Armageddon is a really fun game. I had a blast tearing through caverns and mowing down hordes of enemies, which seemed to tunnel in from absolutely everywhere, always keeping me on my toes. It would have been nice if they had included a true multiplayer, as they had with Guerrilla, rather than just a co-op survival or the always fun destruction mode. As long as you don't expect this game to be Guerrilla 2, you can appreciate it for being a solid entry to the always changing Red Faction series. I found that approach worked for me, and I'm very glad I picked it up. While I got my copy and the DLC for just under $15, I'd say the game is worth more, so maybe you should jump on it at $20. For that, my total game time was around 9 hours, which seems to be about average for most modern day games. Still, I would have liked to have gotten more time out of it, because this game is an excellent,